Video Barbershop version 1.40 introduces capturing video. I'm really excited about this feature. I think it turned out great, and it now makes Video Barbershop a complete end-to-end video capturing, editing, and exporting solution for your video editing pipeline, especially focused on VHS tapes. And let's get into how to do video capturing and what it can do. And so right off the bat, I've got these wonderfully labeled steps. However, I would point out that step 3 and step 4, I'm actually going to change it in the future. This really should be the final step. And when you're switching the format, naming the file really should come after being able to change the video format. But we'll get into that later. But just keep in mind, you probably want to do this last, even though I say this is last. But so step 1, though, is you select your video source. Now, I've got a number of different options here. These are all camera sources that my computer, my Apple, is actually registering and is accessible to you. Now you can see I've got my iPhone here too, which if you do any kind of simulating or connecting your iPhone, showing the desktop on your computer, you'll probably also see this as well as your Mac can use your iPhone's camera as a video streaming source, which is really cool. I've got my webcam in here, which actually this video is using the audio from my webcam. So I'm not going to be selecting this because I don't want it to steal the audio source and suddenly drop out everything that I'm recording. But I do have a Sound Beast and Elgato, and let me just kind of show you what we've got going on here. So I've got my iPhone that I'm using as a camera, but what I've got is I've got this Sound Beast here, and it is a straight AV cable to HDMI 2.0. It's a great little device. You can see it's got some, I don't know, you probably can't see, but it's got some ways to configure the resolution and the output, but it converts, straight from the video from the VCR to HDMI. Now that HDMI is going into this Elgato, which is an HDMI to USB upscaler. And now I don't technically need this as being chained together because this device actually is capable of capturing straight to the USB as well. However, I do have it set up so that you can see the two of them and the differences of them. But this is my setup. Now we're going to be capturing, let's see if I can figure this out a little bit better so you can see it. We're going to be capturing this video on fractals that I've got in here. But that's the setup that I'm doing here. Now I'm just going to switch over to the Sound Beast instead, and we will let's just throw in the tape, fire that up, and you can see what's going on here. It shows a live preview of whatever your device that you've selected. So after you've selected your device, then we can go in and actually start dealing with the resolutions and configuring the device format. Now these options are being read directly out of the device. The device themselves can tell your computer what it's capable of supporting. So I'm reading these directly out of the device and giving you the options to configure for your own personal needs, like full control of what your device is capable of. Now, currently my Sound Beast is configured. The physical switch on the side is a 720p upscaling that it's configured to. So I'm switching to its native format that I know it's doing. In doing so, it'll tell you the pixel format it supports, which in this case it's just the one. The pixel format itself will also dictate what frame rates it supports. Now I'm going for the best available. It's going to be 60 frames a second. But you can configure that to whatever you want. Now, I mean, this is a VCR, so it's probably 29.95 or something like that. It's, broadcast frame rate. So when it's saying 60 frames a second, it's duplicating frames, and it's not actually creating 60 unique frames per second. It's just filling it with duplicates. But, better that than not. So you figure your device however you want. And I've got the live preview. You can see this is a 16 by 9 format. And it does 640 by 480. So you can see what you're going to be dealing with, this live preview. So I just want to show you that upscaling and is very commonly upscales to 16 by 9, stretching your original source from 4 by 3, especially with VCRs. And you'll see this on a lot of devices. So I just want to show you, because I'm going through also an Elgato, which, let me switch over to that. You can see now, look at the difference of the Elgato. I don't know if you saw, but it's slightly darker. The Sound Beast is a little brighter. Elgato is going a little darker. It's got some padding here that you can see that you don't see in the Sound Beast. And so it's really interesting, the differences. Every device converts slightly differently. It's worth knowing. Now, I know, again, you can see Elgato, the device options are very different, much higher resolution it's capable of in upscaling, which is really cool. 1080p is its native format. And when you do that, you can see now we can kick it up to 120 frames a second. And you can see here, it calculates what it's doing. It's around, 120 frames a second raw, which is just crazy since it's probably a 30 frame a second video source. It's just duplicating raw frames. But, you can configure this to whatever your devices are truly capable of capturing. And it'll just stream that straight to your hard drive. Now, the next step, speaking of streaming to your hard drive, is configuring what you want the raw device information to be saved as. And so right off the bat, we can save it either MP4 or MOV. And in MOV, you have your option of different codecs that you can set it to based upon if you have specific needs for a specific codec, you can do that. If you switch to MP4, it's just the one codec. It just defaults to that. But let me show you, because this is one thing that Video Barbershop, from its very foundation, it supports transparent videos and editing transparency and preserving transparency. And so does my capturing device. If you set it to the ProRes codec that supports alpha transparency, let me show you one of the cool features is letterboxing, automatic letterboxing. Now we're in a 16 by 9, 1080p. I'm gonna go to a 4 by 3 aspect ratio of a 1080p. And so you can see it now letterboxes it. This is actually probably a really bad video. Let me stop this, because what I really want to show off is the fact that the letterboxing, as you can see here, let me switch back to MP4, you'll see the actual letterboxing that that's gonna be generated from the combination of your device setting and the combination of your export resolution. I've got this little cheat sheet here, which is color coded. You can see these colors represent what your raw source is going to be and the exported source resolutions, and it gives you an idea of what's going to happen. It'll automatically letterbox it, and if you go into a codec that supports transparency, you can see it'll automatically support that transparency in the letterboxing. So these will be, it will be letterboxed, but they'll be transparent bars instead of black bars that you commonly see, which I think is pretty great if this is a concern to you. in that you want to capture it in a specific way. I mean, these configurations, I'm giving you full power, but they can get kind of weird with what they're doing. Especially I've got some options to go square, and so the letterboxing that can come out of it can get pretty crazy, and you'll capture your device and be like, "Whoa, what happened?" So I give you a full preview here. I think that's really great. So let's go 4:3 is the format that I truly want from the upscaling. Stretch to fit. What that does is it corrects that stretching, and it corrects it and fits it directly into the whatever resolution aspect ratio you've got going on. It'll correct it. So even though your device is upscaling it and stretching your original 4:3 information, you can configure it back to let's go to 4:3 1080p. So you can make it 1080p, but naturally a 4:3 aspect ratio and resolution, and fix this. Now, Video Barbershop also can fix this in itself, but I allow you to fix that on the capture itself, which I think is really great, plus giving you the preview of what you're looking at. Now, as you can see, it's throwing in some black lines in there. So let's just go straight to the raw sound beast. Natural 720, and let's whenever I should mention, whenever you are selecting a new video source, it automatically sets the audio source and the resolution to your source settings. But you can go ahead and configure it and update it. So I want to do 720p, but fixing it to the 4:3 format. So we've got that going on. Quality settings, automatically from source will just grab its raw data. However, I do allow you to configure these to different quality sources. And I'm giving you an estimation of how much drive space it's going to take up per hour under these different quality settings, which I think is really helpful for you to see. So if you're going to capture real low quality VHS level, you're looking at a gig. If you're going to capture real high quality, you're looking at 6 gigs. So it gives you a real great idea to plan out how much drive space you're going to be eating up while doing this. Now you can customize this, and I give you full control. No, that's the audio setting. Video bitrate, I give you full control of everything from a real low bitrate to archive quality bitrate, which is pretty silly for a VHS tape, but hey, whatever you got going on. Maybe you have a high quality camera that you're actually capturing from, so I allow you to capture at really high bit rates. But again, just a reminder, there is that quality settings of automatic from source. So whatever your source is, if it's really high quality, it'll just pass through. But if you want to configure it yourself, bit rate, the audio bit rate itself, capturing the sample rate, all of these things, even the stereo mono, I give you full control of being able to determine how you want to deal with it. Now, this is pretty ridiculous for a VHS tape, so I'm going to go back to just the custom settings, and let's just do efficient. I think 2 gigs is probably pretty fair. It's usually what I see on other capture devices. But so I'll give you a breakdown here of what you've got set. Even if you got a preset, I can give you a breakdown of what that actually translates to. So you can see everything that you're actually capturing here. Now, I should mention one thing, scan type progressive. It is possible to have a camera source or some type of device that is capturing at an interlaced video format. I am not converting it. I am capturing raw, and so it will make note of interlaced video down here. It'll stand out. So just be aware, Video Barbershop does not convert, or really, I haven't dealt with interlaced video formatting yet and correcting them or fixing them or doing any of that kind of stuff. So it's not something that Video Barbershop natively supports. I haven't even tried it, to be honest. I'd be real curious to see what it looks like and what it does do, though. But so just be aware, if ever you do have an interlaced device and you don't see this progressive or not reported, just buyer beware. But anyway, so that's it. You configure your output, you see a preview of exactly what it's going to capture, and then you set your destination. Now I'm just going to capture it. It'll have the extension for the format that you have set to. This is why I say do this last. Capture video, we can just do, fractal. We'll just save that. So it'll save it to your drive directly. And let's hit that back again. So let's just go ahead and capture it. Now, one thing, this is a huge thing that I just noticed. It's a bug that I need to make sure everyone's aware of. This will automatically select the audio source of the device that you've set. However, I have noticed sometimes what it actually does is it, under the hood, selects the first thing listed here. And even though it says that it's Sound Beast, it's actually my microphone. And I've had that problem pop up. So if you capture and notice that it's just pure static, this is a bug. I'm aware of it. I'm going to fix it on the next update. But please be aware, switch this to none, and then go ahead and switch this back to the actual device you want. And this will guarantee that you're capturing that actual device audio instead of that bug of capturing the first thing on the device list. Now, if you only have a single device listed, that's great. But just be aware, I'll fix it in the next version. I'll definitely make sure and mention when it is fixed. But it's really annoying that I just caught that. I don't know where that crept in, but it must be some combination of hopping through various video sources, going back and forth, and just it defaulting to something. But so be aware, big warning. I'm gonna label this as a current bug. But anyway, so let's go ahead and start capturing. Now, when you capture, you see the preview suddenly disappears and goes back to what the raw video feed is. Now, I'm eliminating any processing that is unneeded by this app in showing the preview and comparing it to the raw and the letterboxing. I'm just showing the raw thing. So don't freak out. Don't be like, oh my God, it's capturing the wrong thing now. I'm reducing down the workload of this app so it can stream and capture as good as it can. Now on the left here, you'll see a counter of how much you've actually captured and the actual drive space that is being consumed. This is an estimate based upon these types of settings. However, this estimate can be off because MP4 does a converting of the file format and compressing, and so it can be reduced. But this is it's actually reading the file size as it's going along, so you get a really good idea of exactly what it's consuming. And I'm going to try to stop it here at a good point. Let's go for like 36. 36.2 I saw. It's probably a little more than 36, but we just stopped it there. Let's see here, 36.7, so pretty accurate. But then we've got our, so there's captured the audio from the source. I mean, the tape is pretty low quality, so but yeah, so we've got our video there. And just so you can see, same source. Let's switch to none, so there's no audio. I'm just gonna start. Let me actually rename it. Video capture. That's fine. Let's capture a little bit so you can see the difference. And I just wanted to capture enough so that we can see and hear the fact that there's no audio on this one. So there you go, no audio. You did see at the very beginning this little glitch where it's initializing the video. So be aware of that. This is raw information coming in, and you might have the first couple frames you might want to trim, which luckily there's an easy way to do that. So I am not automatically loading the videos into Video Barbershop when you've captured them, because I'm letting you convert numerous files over, test it out, do all this stuff. So when you're ready to import it, then you can actually go, it will remember the folder that you last saved it at. So it's super convenient and easy. But there you go. It's like, oh, let's get rid of that. Let's capture that whole video. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to see, oh, you can see no audio. You can see exactly where those frames are, and we're just going to kind of step through it. There we go. And we'll just trim right at that point, cut out that bad spot. There you go. So it's super easy to edit that kind of stuff. We can go through and let's go through and sharpen it. Let's override the sharpening. I've got a whole bunch of new controls for sharpening and color grading, all sorts of stuff. Let's actually go to the simple one. Let's just enhance it and sharpen it with this preset, and we can see now. Let's pop it out. I mean, it's still going to be, let's match export size. It's still going to be pretty fuzzy because it's a bad VHS tape, but it's certainly cleaned up and less fuzzy. Let's, if we get rid of it, let's see, bit fuzzy, you can see. Can you see the difference between the fuzziness? It might be a little hard to kind of capture it off on the side, but fuzzy, 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 and then sharpen. You know, not bad, not bad, but it is VHS tape. So anyway, so you know, super easy to capture and go in. And if you're not dealing with the front of that or the capture button, there is the video capture option here too. So you can capture while you're even in the app and working in it. You can go ahead and start capturing. Let's go through the Elgato. Ooh, that's cool. So again, I mean, really great, full power of being able to configure the device, as well as fixing any kind of output or configuring this to exactly what you want, giving you full understanding and knowledge of how much drive space you're going to be consuming with this. A counter while it's, I love this. I'm so proud. I mean, minus the audio source bug, but I'm so proud of how this turned out. I think it's one of the best video capture interfaces out there, giving you absolute control over the device and the output. Really great stuff. So anyway, that is video capture in version 1.4. And like I said, I will update, I'll update that audio source. I tell you, you know, you work on this thing and you get really proud, and it's really great. And then you start capturing a video and talking about it, and suddenly you realize there's a big bug in there. But it's just the way it goes, software development. So, you know, Video Barbershop is available on the Apple Mac Store. Low price, $20. $20. That's one ATM money unit. I mean, just incredible value, especially now with video capture in version 1.4. All right, so take care. Look out for the update. But until then, make sure you select that audio source specifically until I get that fixed. All right, take care.